That was not a boxing match. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. And then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again.
What's funny about your brother? Your brother talks more shit than anybody else on the planet. They're trying to sue people when people talk shit. There's people out there saying they're fake fights, they're fixed.
Jake Paul's California mansion has been raided by the FBI. Multiple news organizations report. You can see in this aerial footage agents in uniform outside his home in Calabasas.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua is a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's current, he's active.
Jake Paul is once again trapped in a viral controversy that could redefine his entire boxing future. Explosive online claims allege his biggest fights were scripted, including the massive Netflix showdown with Anthony Joshua, even sparking false arrest rumors. Promoters and regulators firmly reject any possibility of fixed professional bouts, yet public doubt around Paul's ring credibility is peaking. The scandal adds fuel to an already checkered past involving federal scrutiny at his Calabasas mansion. As clicks surge and headlines multiply, fans and critics now debate one question: has Jake Paul reached the end of his lucrative, headline-driven rise?
FBI agents have raided the Southern California home of YouTube star Jake Paul. Federal officials say the search was part of an investigation. Wendy Birch is in Calabasas with what we're learning tonight.
Sky 5 was overhead this morning as federal agents entered Jake Paul's Calabasas home located in this gated community off of Mulholland Highway. We counted close to 24 federal agents, some of them in tactical gear, entering the residence. Why they were here and what they were looking for, that remains unclear. The federal search warrant has been sealed and no one is offering any.
For years, elite boxing analysts, retired champions, and powerful promoters have challenged the legitimacy of Jake Paul's bouts, long before recent arrest whispers emerged. From hand-picked, faded opponents to suspicious pacing, late knockdown, and alleged contract restrictions, critics insist his rapid ascent appears strategically engineered for profit, virality, and pay-per-view dominance rather than authentic championship merit.
I've always been curious about this because, like, you know, you saw the Askren fight, we saw these fights that he went into. The Fury one obviously didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, just because I was so convinced that, like, Jake had these fights fixed, and there's a lot of people who talk about the fights being fixed because it's just the way it is.
Yeah, they tell me that too. They're like, tell me you're not going to take a fall against Paul. Everybody says that to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? You could have paid me all the money in the world.
Respected insiders keep stressing that although Paul delivers huge eyeballs, sponsorship cash, and viral reach to boxing, his carefully selected opponents rarely present true elite risk. Intensifying claims that result are managed to safeguard the brand, not challenge authentic ability. As skepticism stacks higher, every fresh headline connects to the last, strengthening a clear storyline. Jake Paul's ring career thrives on marketing optics, contractual leverage, and strategic control, instead of the uncertainty, danger, and savage chaos that historically defined championship-level boxing.
If the Jake Paul fight was set up.
What happened to me is what was going to happen to him had he dropped those hands. If I say, Rampage, I'm going to pay you $2 million, right? Let this dude beat you, what you going to do? You're going to feel disrespected, number one. Right? That ain't enough money. For me to do that, I got to be willing to walk away for good. Something like 20-something million where I can invest it and fall off in the shade.
Previously, the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul showdown exploded across media with raw intensity and viral drama. Online rumors about a leaked script claimed the Tyson-Paul fight was pre-planned, igniting massive debate. Alleged audio clips surfaced, fueling claims that key moments, including Tyson's apparent fatigue and Paul's knockout victory, were deliberately staged for maximum clicks, hype, and monetization profits revenue.
Graduate in the United States is $1.3 million. Again, that's over the course of the person's entire life. Jake Paul earned 30 times that in one night. People talk about winners and losers, like Jake Paul won.
After defeating Mike Tyson, Jake Paul shared bold reflections on his ring performance. Speaking with supreme confidence, Paul stated he barely absorbed punches or felt real danger. The comment reinforced his belief that he controlled every round with ease. Supporters praised the remarks as evidence of elite skill, sharp preparation, and growing superstar status. Fans viewed the win as validation that Paul can compete with iconic names. Critics, however, dismissed the fight as low intensity, claiming Tyson looked flat, slow, and unthreatening. They questioned competitive balance, entertainment value, and whether the matchup truly tested Paul's abilities moving forward globally.
Super Bowl.
Big as the Super Bowl. Big as the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though? In the
did that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt. Though.
I was seeing it
Why didn't he
while
have
I was
underwear
ringside. He had a G-string on, is what he had.
Almost.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. A phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out, though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was
really
crazy when
sorry.
we talked about this. I told him you're going to say some dumb shit. You did the right thing at the end. You back.
The latest matchup with Anthony Joshua follows the same pattern. Pundits across combat media have slammed the bout as wildly unbalanced, highlighting the massive gap in experience, power, size, and championship pedigree. On one side stands a YouTuber turned boxer holding a 12-1 record fueled by hype, clicks, and pay-per-view buzz. On the other is a former two-time heavyweight world champion hardened by years against elite contenders. Critics argue Paul functions more as a lucrative attraction than a legitimate threat, reinforcing claims this event prioritizes viral spectacle, massive revenue, and global attention over authentic, high-level sporting competition for modern boxing audiences.
Jake Paul, fake Paul I call him, against Anthony Joshua. Massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the bar knockout when he got fucking splattered. You know what I mean? In round 5, and he got hurt early on and then he got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
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 How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
It'll be over when he wants.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul steps into this matchup with a confidence level that has stunned veteran boxing analysts worldwide. Recent commentary highlights his unshakable belief in rising to the moment and delivering a statement victory. Unlike earlier bouts, Paul is locked in with ruthless focus, discipline, and intent. Insiders tracking his camp stress that mindset is the real weapon, blending elite conditioning with sharp mental resilience. This preparation shows he fully respects the danger of facing a former heavyweight champion, yet welcomes it as a career-defining chance to validate his name, silence critics, elevate market value, and dominate.
He's very big. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy here.
Still, Jake Paul's growing self-belief inside boxing sparks heavy doubt among elite analysts. Many say his confidence about facing Anthony Joshua feels wildly premature. Joshua is a battle-tested heavyweight with Olympic pedigree, championship wars, elite conditioning, and years of elite coaching. Paul, by contrast, lacks comparable rounds, durability, and adversity. Some observers even question whether his physique gains reflect natural progression or external enhancement, fueling clicks, debate, and monetization.
Paul natural? No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things. Now let's give Jake the benefit of the doubt, right? He's able to restrain from the peer pressure that everyone's putting on him to hop on these certain compounds. Then that would be cool to train natural, do what he needs to do. But the thing is, his body composition has changed so much, his explosiveness, his power, and yes, that comes with training and time. But I find it very, very suspicious that for some reason, whenever a drug test gets brought up, for instance, when Fury wanted that in the contract, Jake Paul turns them down. So you should think to yourself, it's probably because he's not natural. Now I want to make it clear, I don't care whether Jake Paul is natural or not. There's so many people that aren't natural that are in combat sports. In fact, Tyron Woodley probably is also not natural. Everyone wants that little edge over their competition, and that's where drugs and anabolics come into play. There's certain compounds that are out there that just increase your explosiveness immensely, your recovery, so that you can stay in the same weight class, which is very important for combat sports, whether that's boxing, UFC, whatever type of combat sport you're doing. So that is why you guys have seen so much improvement from Jake Paul. Of course, he has a great circle around him, great trainers, great coaches, a great regimen, but definitely anabolics play a very fundamental role in that. They allow him to train as hard as he does. They allow him to increase his power and speed. And of course, when you think of those concepts, that's essentially the recipe to...
Despite non-stop controversy, serious money keeps flooding this fight. Betting buzz has become a storyline itself around the Paul versus Joshua spectacle. Hardcore fans, casual bettors, and famous influencers are staking cash on outcomes, intensifying debate over legitimacy. Is this a true elite sporting competition, or a highly engineered entertainment event designed to dominate headlines, clicks, views, and global conversation, worldwide, profitable, viral?
So do you think it's going to be real, this fight? Do you think it's actually... So you think that Jake Paul...
You couldn't fake it. Do you really think Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul?
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go. It's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So we're
and people are betting on it. Big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some old. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot. Was he 6'6"?
About that.
Fucking. What's he 16? What's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245.
What's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps on. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do you think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is completely shot to bits, no.
Yeah, and so is the potential that Jake Paul, like, I know you keep saying no, I know you're right, but is there a world in which you see Jake Paul?
Come on. Stop.
As leaked script allegations exploded online, fighters who faced Jake Paul drew fierce backlash, accusing him of damaging boxing credibility. Fans claimed Mike Tyson cashed out, allegedly sacrificing his legendary legacy by joining a bout widely viewed as manufactured entertainment rather than authentic competition.
Versus Paul script was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5, but that one was clearly not real or an older script. This will give you goosebumps. I'm just going to read you parts, but if you want to see the full script, I'll show you it at the end. Round 1, opening bell rings and Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, but slower than his prime. Round 2, Tyson comes alive, but his breathing grows heavier. Round 3, Paul gains confidence and lands a sharp right that stuns Tyson. That's exactly what happened. Then round 4 and 5, the fatigue sets in strong for Tyson and Jake is landing a bunch of hits. Round 6, Jake showboats, which is the tongue thing he did here. Then on round 7, Jake plays it safe to not KO Mike. And round 8 wins by decision and bows at the end. This is crazy. Subscribe if you want to read it yourself.
During the Jake Paul fights, fans noticed unusual interactions. Tyson reportedly whispered strategies to Paul, while referees seemed to subtly guide him away from certain action. These moments sparked intense speculation about potential scripting or staged choreography. Matchroom Boxing CEO has firmly denied claims that Paul versus Anthony Joshua is fixed. Hearn emphasized that if the fight occurs, it will follow official Queensberry rules, delivering a legitimate, high-stakes professional bout, not an exhibition or pre-planned performance, directly challenging circulating rumors and reinforcing the authenticity of the matchup.
Versus Mike Tyson was 100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing glove throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul while they are clinching. And in the middle of the fight, the referee told Jake Paul to stop measuring. For those of of you who don't know, in boxing terms, measuring means that you're setting up for a knockout by seeing how far your opponent is with jab. The referee literally told Jake Paul to stop measuring, and before the fight, we see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul whispering stuff to each other. Mike Tyson biting on his gloves, whispering secrets to Jake Paul in the middle of the fight, and the referee literally telling Jake Paul to stop measuring during the fight. That should be enough proof that
Frank Smith has stirred debate around Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, claiming the fight prioritizes spectacle over skill. He warned fans the bout is engineered for shock value and entertainment, not a true test of boxing talent. Smith emphasized that while hype sells, it may undermine the sport's integrity. Still, he expressed hope for a Joshua Fury showdown, calling it the ultimate mega fight. Optimistic for 2026, he noted boxing is full of talk and not every proposed clash happens. Fans should stay excited but cautious amid logistical and contractual challenges.
People who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight. Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight? It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
Sorry, just to silence all the doubters here. You know, a lot of people saying this can't be real. You know, Anthony Joshua going in there, it must be an exhibition, or Anthony Joshua's going to it's going to be choreographed and Anthony's going to carry him through a couple of rounds. I know Anthony Joshua. Just to silence all those doubters, he's going to go in there to do a job, right?
It's 100% real. It's 100% real. People ask him, why is it 8 rounds, not 10? Because I don't think it goes past the first round. So it's, you know, regardless, it's quite irrelevant. I think he steps across the ring and knocks him out, you know, but we're in for a bit of fun and everyone's going to be tuning in.
It might not be fun for Jake Paul. I mean, it's serious entertainment, is it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I agree with you. I accept Jake Paul is absolutely mental for doing this. And I don't think he quite realizes. I think he's got people around him who actually are saying, you know, Anthony Joshua's chinny. He said it in interviews. It's quite wild, but, you know, if that's the world he wants to live in, he'll find out on December 19th.
And Frank, to finish with, the plan is still sometime in 2026, AJ against Tyson Fury. And Turki Al-Sheikh's working on that, is he?
That's the fight we want to make. That's the fight we want to see. Look, we're all guilty of doing a lot of talking over the years and that not happening. So I don't want to talk too much, but that is definitely what we want to see in 2026. It's one of the biggest fights in the sport, and I'm very hopeful.
Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, has finally responded to the swirling scripting rumors, though his remarks sparked debate themselves. Hearn quipped the only script was Joshua's plan to dominate Paul and score a swift knockout. He clarified this wasn't flippant, but a way to stress the fight's intensity and shut down claims of a predetermined result. Yet, the very act of publicly mocking and countering these allegations shows just how deeply the speculation has gripped fans and media, fueling endless conversation and hype ahead of fight night.
People can't speak. Yeah, but it's obviously scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. 1, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. 2, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. I was like, Brian, give us 2. Like, or 3. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to get one shot round the arm and...
Is this truly the downfall of Jake Paul's controversial reign, or will he effortlessly survive yet another explosive scandal? Share your bold predictions and reactions in the comments section now.